27th of January. Come out in the garden to just do one of them small sort of jobs, just sieving some compost through. I thought I'd bring the camera out because it's been a while. I'll give you a bit of an update of where things are at. So yeah, I'm just going to sieve some of my homemade compost out. It's just kitchen scraps and general garden waste really, cardboard. Just fair because obviously it's nearly time to start sowing some seeds. Not just yet, it's still a bit cold and a bit early. I've done my garlic, I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, I've not been up to the plot since, well, October. Whenever I did the video from there in October, that's the last time I went there. So I need to go up there as soon as possible, but it won't be next week, it'll be week after, because some of you know I'm in a band. So that kicks off next Saturday, the 3rd of February, so first gig there. So what I'll do is because some of you are interested in the music side as well, I'll put a picture or something to describe, you know, or to list the dates, because I mean we're not even out of January yet, and we're pretty much booked up for the year now. What I'm willing to do anyway, because obviously with chronic fatigue thing, I've just got to be careful what I do, that I don't completely burn myself out. But on the other hand, I don't want to stop doing it because, you know, there's no quality of life. You've got to have something positive to do, you know. So you don't mind a bit of exhaustion, knock-on effects if you've had a positive from it, you know. Same as the garden, you know, yeah, it's work, you know, and I do get a knock-on effect from it. Get exhausted quite easy now, and tired. And a lot of it with the chronic fatigue is it doesn't happen straight away. It's always a day or two after, and there's no cure for it. It's just learning how to pace yourself. So if you do too much, you will pay the price. But it's not so bad if you pay the price, but it's been a worthwhile price to pay, you know, because it's something that's a positive for you. It's a quality of life, you know. So yeah, so all the dates for this year will be on there. So if you're in the Blackpool area, all the gigs are kept local this year. They're all sort of like within 10 miles of Blackpool. So you know, if you want to pop down and say hi, feel free. All the dates will be there. Local pubs are all like I said, 10 miles of Blackpool, like Fleetwood, St Anne's, Cleveland's, Bisping. They're all nice and local, so I'm not going to worry about packing up and then having hours to drive home and unloading and that, because it's no fun when you're unloading gear at like 3 o'clock in the morning and you're knackered anyway. But yeah, we'll have a look around at the garden in a minute. But like I said, plot wise, I've not been up there, so there'll be all sorts. Probably might be some storm damage up there, probably weeds. Will be flooded because it's been quite a bad winter, to be honest. I mean, the last few have been all right, but this winter's been, just seemed like it's been nothing but storms and gales, you know. Surprising everything's still standing in the back garden. When I get to a plot, might be fences down, fruit cage might be down, I have no idea. So I'll deal with that when I go. You know, however bad it is, I'll just make a priority list, and what I can deal with in the growing season, I'll deal with then, and what needs preparing before the growing season, I'll deal with that first. You know, you think, well, we've got a year to sort it, but I've only got a matter of months or weeks to get the ground sorted. So that's priorities, get the ground ready, your plants are growing, but then you can do all the other sort of comfort parts. So it's basically, you know, I've been sieving some of this. It's just something like I've been coming out, sieving a bit, going have a cup of tea and that, because it's still not the warmest of days. Sun keeps going in and out. It keeps trying to spit with rain now and then. But hoping it'll hold off for a bit. It's just a case of, you know, an old spade head. Run it through a sieve. I think it's something like probably about a 6mm sieve, this, something like that, 6-7mm sieve. It's not super fine, just some of the twiggy bits get through. You know, because some of it's a bit coarse for seeds, but I mean, you could... Radish will probably just grow fine enough, to be honest. Some of the bigger seeds will just, well, I mean, if you push 10 seeds in that, you know, half of them are probably germinate and be fine. They're not really that bothered. They won't grow so well in cable ties and plastic and junk like that, but that's just part of compost, and you can pick them out after. A bit of tea bag in there and whatnot. That's it, it's just filling some of this. I need to get some vermiculite, because I haven't got any left, so I just need to check the old funds on that and try and get some just to line it up, because obviously it can get a bit, you know, compressed, because it's all worm castings really, you know, but it does break up again if you rub it. So it's not like a paste. Like if you use soil, it's like a paste. It gets too compacted. That's why I'm not a great fan of some of the John Innes type things, because they seem too loamy, too soily, and they compact. But I mean, it's things like coconut or the clear works well because it's nice and stringy, that holds it together. But once you get a good root ball forming, it'll be fine. My garlic's just planted in the same stuff as this. I'll show you that in a minute, but I'll have a real quick look around the garden because not much going on. There's just basically clearing up and things have been sort of battered by the frost or rotted off. But yeah, I just need to do this, and it empties this then, so I can start emptying one of my bays. I do the bulk of my composting in the bays, and then I just put it in here when this is empty, because it's in batches. So I'll put the nearest to finished batch into here and let it sit in there probably till April, and I'll sieve that through. The clumpy stuff I couldn't do that. I'll just put straight. I'll put it on the ground somewhere, probably that. Rake it over, and whatever comes off with the rake, that'll go back in the compost heap because it's too chunky. But I mean, it's only things like these sort of items, but it won't cause any problems. You put it on the soil, worms and bugs and that'll come up, digest it, take all the nutrients down, and prepare your soil ready for when you plant stuff out. The nutrients are in there, because obviously all winter it's kind of eroded out, so it's a good thing to cover your beds. I've not got around to it. I fully intended on doing, but I've just not got around to it. So my idea is to get the beds all prepped up by mid-March, then it can all settle, and then I'll go up and plant mid-April at the plot, because I like it to settle and any weed seeds to germinate, so I can flick them off and then plant, put the nets over, and then it's doing its own thing then, it can take care of itself. Same as a garden, it's all you can do really. You can't do much more than that. The plant, the seed, it knows what to do. You just sort of give it a helping hand, but not pamper it. This is why you have to harden things off, because you put something under cover in a greenhouse or in a propagator tray, and then plant it straight out. It's gone from one extreme to another. So, need to not overwater them, just keep it so it's just damp, because everything will sort of evaporate from the top, which automatically makes roots drive down deeper, which is what you want in the soil. If you plant something, water it in, the roots will grow, and that's what it does in the first part of the growing cycle. It's getting roots down, and that's in the winter months, especially with garlic. You put it in, you think it's not doing anything. It's growing roots, and then when the sort of sun it's at right height and the plants know, hey, up spring's here, they've got the roots in, then the top grows, and you've got a good root system to support the top. So everything leaks here, I was going to get them out the other week, but I felt the ground, it was solid, it was frozen solid, so I need to pull the leaks out, get them chopped up. Brussels sprouts, need to get rid of them. I picked some of them, but I kind of left it too late, so the stalks, I'll leave the stalks. I'll take all the sprouts off, they can go in the compost bins and that, and the stalks I'll put at the bottom of another bay, because they just allow airflow, because you do need some chunky stuff in a compost bin to allow airflow, because once it gets compact and there's no air in it, it slows the pile down. You need the right air amount and right moisture content, and you have that perfect sort of compost heap. You can turn it with a fork, once a month, something like that, just puts a bit of air into it. Obviously it slows down this time because it's cold and there's not green waste in it, but it will all rot down. Whatever you put in a pile will eventually get eaten, taken into the ground. Otherwise everyone's plot will be like on a hill. So I'll get the camera, have a look around. Right, we'll start down this bottom end down here, because this is where I came out the other week to make a start. Well, last week. Seems like longer than that. But cleared all the old sweet pea plants out. I had taken pods off. I haven't got many pods, hence why I've not done the seed giveaway this year. Plus, postage prices are ridiculous, and I just can't afford it at the moment. So I need to take some of that out of there, that soil, and replenish it, because it's had sweet peas growing it for years, and it's just depleted. They just didn't do that well last year, and I think it's because of the soil. It wasn't retaining water very well. And then cleared these pots. Cleared I had some like old prunings I put there, so basically it's the old prunings off this elm here. But the leaves, it all went there, and a lot of the leaves just rotted into the soil. And then it started raining, so that was the end of that. So there's still all this to sort out, It's not essential right now. Just tidy this, take the straw off, pick the grass clumps out and remulch it. Tidy, get rid of some of dead foliage, take all that off, tidy the plants up. Maybe put little bits of straw over the top of them again, and then they'll come through, when it gets warm enough. We need to clear all around here, organise all this lot, seed trays, get them clean. Seed trays is a priority really, because I need them in a few weeks. And I'm going to polytunnel last, I think. Let's have a quick look at these compost bays. Obviously you've seen the compost there that I've just sieved. So kind of starts off like that. Throw it all in. Your potato peelings, weeds, cardboard. These are all branch prunings. Just throw it all in. And then obviously that'll keep sinking as you add to it. Until you've got like, you know, till it gets like up here. And then cover it over and it'll drop right down. And then I'll move it into another bay. So when I move it across and it has a bit of time in another bay, it starts to resemble, chuck that because that's still a bit fresh, that, chuck that another one. It starts to resemble a bit more compost, even though it's got stalky bits in it, but they are going soft. You know, and there's wood lice and there's bugs in there and all sorts. You know, it starts to resemble it, apart from plastic. Cardboard, it's all in there. You can all root balls and stuff. Throw it all in. And then leave it a while, and then I move it into another bay, which is its kind of final. Sometimes I'll put it into this final bay, and then I'll put another batch on top of it. And it goes into here. It settles down. You know, there's very few worms at the top at the moment, because it's pretty much done. You know, and then I'll transfer this. You know, because it'll still clump up, there's still chunks in it and bricks and all sorts. But I'll put this then into the black Dalek bin over there. It's sort of, it's mainly just to store it somewhere to free up the bay, really. Put it in there, nice and dry in there. Any worms can sort of finish off, any bugs can deal with it, and then I'll use it from there. I'll go up here, so sprouts, say a lot of them, pick all them off. There's very few lettuce left in there. Sort of succumbed to the really hard frost we had the other week. Durum early spring greens are still just about ticking along. There's a few bugs in there, keeps eating them, so I need to tend to that, see what that is. It's a mess in here, so all these pots here, I'll just I'll take all the root balls out, sieve the compost out, you know, which I can use to, you know, sort of mix with another compost. You know, half and half. It's depleted, it's spent compost, but put some of your own with it and it's kind of good to go again. You've replenished it. It's a way of doing it on the cheap when you can't afford it. And then we've got the raspberry canes that are down here, which seems to be the local cat toilet at the moment, from neighbours' cats. Over this side, so we've got a couple of beds of lettuce here. Lettuce down here, which is the stuff that's in pots. So I need to pick a load of that really, and that's what I give to Kane. He eats that stuff, picking it on and off. It's just remember to come out and get it, because I mean now it's getting watered by the rain, whereas before it was on my shelf, but that's obviously back in the polytunnel now. Like leeks need to come out, and I can cover that bed over, top it up with something. Don't know what's happening. I might actually plant the potatoes direct into that this year, you know, because it's, you know, yeah, if I plant them trail depth in there, just hill it a little bit rather than filling the tubs up with the compost. I mean, you know, 11 tubs there, 30 litres each tub. It's quite a bit of compost to use. So I think if I can get away with it in the soil, I'll do that. I'm just going to clear all these pots. There's a few sweet candle carrots left in there I need to pull out. So that's the top end. And obviously, this pepper tunnel, I need to take all the pepper plants, all the bell pepper plants out of that, the weeds and that, take the mulch off, all the straw, that can go in the compost bin, re-top it up, re-mulch it, and then that's good to go. So I'll keep polytunnel now. Some pots here, a few weeds in it, but it's mainly rocket. These have been in all winter. I just brought them out because they needed watering and it was absolutely chucking it down, so I thought, save me a job. The old Sky water it for me. So there's all this needs sorting out. I've strapped this down because it kept in the storms. It ended up right over there somewhere. So I ended up, I've got some trays under there. I need to clean all them, ready for planting stuff. So I need to sort this polytunnel out at some point, because all that's currently holding this side down is these two pots against that piece of wood. So I need to, obviously the wood's rotten, so at some point I'm going to have to recover this polytunnel. So I just need to make sure I've got plenty of funds for that. Hopefully I get another year out of it at least. you know, because it is starting to come out here and stuff. It does need doing. I mean, it's what, 13, probably 15, about 15 years or something like that. It's done all right. Not much going on in here really, apart from a place for dumping ground really. Put me alpine strawberries here, so I need to obviously clean them up. Might give them like a little liquid seaweed boost or something like that, or see if I can top dress. You know, because even though it's cold, there's a little weed seed starting in there. So these parsley plants, they look knackered. Just take all the dead foliage off. As long as that crown bit in the middle's all right, it'll refire when the temperature's right. Rosemary at the back there. A mint plant, I'll just take the top of that off, and it'll probably re-sprout from the actual stem. Lettuce under here, some of it's starting to damp off now, to be honest. Rot off that stem rot, and pull them out, and then tidy them up a bit, and keep picking them, probably up until I need that space, either whether I need to store stuff, you know, or get it ready for growing. I've got garlic in pots here. There's 80 pots altogether. When did I put it in? 18th. So it's 18th of January I put it in. So what's that? 9 days ago. So it doesn't take long. I know one of them sprouted because I had a rummage in that one before, but some leftover cloves I had, I just poked them in the ground here. And, you know, pull these out. Little roots starting on that already. So that's just straight in the ground. So if your ground's dry enough, you know, some starting on there, it will grow. But all I basically did, try and sort of show you one-handed. I've got a garlic clove in my pocket somewhere, maybe. So he says. Can't feel anything with gloves on. That's why I hate wearing gloves, but it's just too damn cold on the hands. So I've got a garlic clove there. Just my own compost again. Shove some in a pot. Get a bit of a push down, not too hard. With your finger, make all in the middle. Your clove. Shove it down there so it's kind of, you know, a bit underneath. Fill it up, press it down. This is damp compost, so I won't water it. And then that's it. You know, I'm probably in about 4 or 5 weeks, you'll start seeing roots poking out the bottom, but you'll see nothing on top. You know, for maybe 8 weeks. You know, if you start seeing something, it's pretty, unless you get nice warm weather, it's the warmth that encourages the top. But you think, no, I want more roots, and then I'll just take them down to the plot and probably plant them a little bit deeper at the plot, possibly end of March into April. Say, because this shelf is a godsend. Once this is in here, I can get things growing in here in seed trays and cover it with fleece, or take it in if it's really cold, put it in, or dump it all in the kitchen if it's a hard frost. And that ticks me over. That allows me till middle of April to get everything ready, the ground ready everywhere. I tend to do the first 2 weeks of April is when everything gets planted. Right, that's it for this video. So I'm going to carry on sieving some more of this stuff. Probably another half hour, and then I'll call it down, because probably only about an hour left of light, to be honest. And then that'll be it for today. It's just worm job. You just tickle away at it, and then it just gets it ready. You know, I can bag it up. And like I said, I just need to get all some vermiculite and that. And then I can deal with, like, I can do a little bit outside each day. And then in between gigs, I can go and sort the plot out. I just don't want to go and do a load up at the plot and then hurt my wrist or something, because, you know, playing the guitar and that, I need to look after my wrists. And obviously I don't want to get soaking wet and end up with a cold, because if I've got to sing, and you can't really sing with a cold, so you do end up being a bit more cautious and careful. But yeah, big thanks for, you know, subscribers for still following and that. I'm going to sit down and answer some comments. I need to. I've had issues with another laptop I've borrowed, and that a couple of the keys aren't working. So I need to strip the keys off really and get some that spray cleaner and get them all cleaned up. Because you can only do so much from a phone. I can't edit anything on the phone. But yeah, so I need to get all that sorted out and that, and get these gigs done. Try and get a few pennies in from that to help, because obviously I've got to buy strings and all that lot with that. But yeah, big thanks for subscribing. All the links in the description below for to do with people who've supplied stuff, you know, like Scrivens. They gave me a lot of compost last year to try out. Same with B&Q and the raised beds by Vegega. There'll be links for that. Discount codes might still work, I've no idea. but I'll put them in there anyway. You know, and I'll put a link to the band's Facebook page as well in case you want to go and have a look on that, because the dates are on there as well. And also, you know, there'll be links on, you know, how you can support the channel for the gardening, you know, because it's a massive help. I could do the back garden, but I couldn't do the allotment, I think, at the current moment, current sort of financial situations, the way finances are. The donations help me do the allotment. Because obviously rent's due for that in a few months, so I've got to deal with that. And yeah, it's so much appreciated. And I say it all goes back into the channel, enables me to do it. So thanks for watching, take care, and I will see you in a few weeks, which will start with things like brassicas, where it actually feels like it begins, you know, and get good germination and that. So if you've not got your seeds, start looking at your seeds, what you're going to get in. Get them ordered. Any seed potatoes, get them ordered in, and then you're good to go then, really, and then you can just worry about getting out on the brighter days and getting the ground ready. So take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.